What's up, guys? Today we got a BMW X5. This is a 2017 with the N55 engine in it. Today we will be changing the valve cover gasket, and the spark plugs. I have seen a lot of videos like this, but they leave a lot of stuff out. In this video, I'm gonna make sure you know exactly what to do and what not to do. I'm gonna have five tips, starting the video off with two. Tip number one, please do not start this job without a crankcase hose. People say you don't need it, you're gonna need it. It's very brittle, it's gonna break. Make sure you have it. Tip number two, the spark plug socket. It takes a 12.14 millimeter spark plug socket. They sell it at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Napa, any one of them have it. So make sure you have that before you start the job. And if you want to hear the rest of the tips, please stick around and watch this video to the end. Like, share, subscribe if you like the video. Let's go. All right, guys. In order to do this job, this is just the valve cover and the valve cover gasket. It's not including the spark plug. We're going to get to that later. These are some of the tools. I might think of something else I need later. But as of right now, these are the tools and the parts that we're going to need. We're going to start out with the tools. First of all, this is optional. The impact is optional. We don't have to use that, but we may use it for the actual valve cover bolts, taking them out. That's about it. That's about the only thing we use that for. A couple extensions, little extension. Got a ratchet wrench, a screwdriver, a pick tool for some of the connectors. You're gonna need a 10 millimeter socket, 8 millimeter socket. You also would need this is an E12 star, female. Then you would need a 10 star, female. This is an E10. Then you need a torch socket, torch tool, a T25 star bit. You would need a T27 star bit, and you would need a T30 star bit. Males, all of my males. So basically, them are the tools we're gonna need. Like I said, we might need some more. As far as the parts, we're gonna need this seal. I'm gonna show y'all where that go. You're gonna need that new. This hose right here, you don't need this new, but from information I have received, these break easy. They say you might as well get one because they are real brittle. And that also comes with two new self-tapping screws. You're gonna need those. New oil cap, that's recommended. And last but not least, you would need the valve cover. This comes with the gasket already on there. The gasket is already there. Already come with the screws. It already come with the PVC cap. Once you get this, you just want to inspect it for any cracks, dings, breaks. Go over every inch of it and make sure. Most people don't even change the cover. They just change the gasket. But this is recommended from BMW, so I'm changing the cover. First thing first, remove the dust guard here. Pops right out. Make sure you keep a track of these two. Take them with you. Next, we're going to start off by moving this air intake hose. We don't have to move the box, just the air intake hose. In order to remove the air intake hose, you got to loosen up these three clamps. One here, and one here. You can't use a flathead screwdriver, but I like to use an 8 millimeter. All right, down here is the other flathead screw. We also have this vacuum hose. That one's kind of rough. You got to be real careful with these. It ends up. Now we got to take off this PVC hose. These are very brittle. This takes a T25 Torx. I put these screws back into these holes. With this, it's four. What you want to do is 4 clamps. You want to give it a slight pull while you lift up on each clamp. That one back a little bit. That one. That went back in. Let's back up. What some people do, they put 4 washers. It broke. So we're just gonna break all of them. Like I said, we got a new one. Just recommend you get a new one because they're so brittle, they will break. Yes, it broke all up. And release this from the clamp. Pretty sure this is going to be brittle too. Comes right off. This 10mm bolt right here. And we also have a hose. Not a hose. A wire clamp to the back of the intake. We will also have to get. Now for the clamp back here, just use your pick tool. Pick up on the clamp and pull it like this. And it's out. Now the intake is ready to come off. All right, guys, in order to get this top half of the intake off, that's rubber. And the circle piece right here went over it and it just pops right out. Thought it was a screw, but that's all it was. That onto that. All right. All right, now that we got all that exposed, we're gonna take a step away from this, mess with any of this, and we're gonna take this whole piece off right here, this whole front piece. Take this out, including the arms. Another tool you're gonna need that I didn't mention is this trim tool, mini crowbar, pry tool, whatever you want to call it, to get the plastic clamps from out of this, to get all this from out of here. There's only 2 on this side. Almost lost that one. Don't lose them. All right, now in order to get the rest of this out of here, you got this 10mm bolt, the 2 T25 bolts, T25 back here, then the same thing on the other side. Then you got 2 more of these on the other side. To take all this out, then that'll come right out. Then we have to take this bar off, 16mm socket for those. Then we'll be ready to finish taking the valve cover out. change those out. They pretty dirty. Figure out where I can get those from. You know, once you get the air breather box out from right here, you will have another 10 millimeter right there. Then you also have two T25s up here. Just one and two over here. Then this side should be ready to come up. All right. Now we got to get this harness up and off the valve cover. In order to do that, we got two T25 bolts right there. There's two on the other side. We got to remove this clamp right here. Take this off. It's just clamped from right there. You just see me clamp it. And these pull up. These pull up out of here. In order to get these, oh, I want to drop it. In order to get these up out of here. And then these should pull straight up out of there. It's going to take me some force. I have to put the phone back on the tripod. And y'all will see me take that out. The two T25s off this side, off that side. Then that wire harness lift up. And I'm going to bungee cord it so it'll sit up off the valve cover. Sort of like I did this off camera. This hose right here so it won't be leaning over onto the valve cover. I just bungee cord it right there to the hood hinge. Okay, off camera, what I was able to do was just take the air box off from over here. Took the screws out in the back. What I realized is this, not this, I'm sorry, the plastic piece right there, it clips on and off. But I couldn't get my finger, the clip is in the back. I couldn't get my finger back there to unclip it. I couldn't get enough leverage. So I just took out the two T25 screws and it came up, but it still have wires connected to it. And I didn't want to take loose all them wires. So I just bungeed it up with this right here, holding it off to the side. And I took this protection piece, this rubber piece, and just flapped it over to the side like this. So it's out the way. And as you can see, the whole valve cover is exposed now. Now we can start taking all this stuff off. Okay, now that we got all this exposed, unclamp these. These are T25. Take this clamp right here, the silver clamp, and put it on to the new valve cover. These two, is no way you can get them messed up, but what I do when I have connectors like this, I like to just mark both of them with a marker, so I know these two go together. So when I unplug them, I know this mark right here should match when I put it back together. And that one, the other one won't have one. And after that, we'll start taking out the spark plug, unplugging the spark plug boots and take those out. And then we'll get the fuel rail out. And then we'll be ready to take out the valve cover. For this to unplug this, you just pinch the 2 pinches on the side, pinch them real good and pull up. It comes off. You hang it over there. Hell, a little tough. They have like a little tab, you pull back on it, and they come loose. This one right here is giving me a hard time. I don't get it. I know how to put a new clamp back in there, so starting to get a little hot out here. Oh, that's a little bigger. That's not a T25. This one might be the T27. Yeah, it's T27, guys. What I'm gonna do before I even take a loose these fuel rails, I'm gonna get something prepared to put over the actual hose so nothing get down in there, and I'm gonna clean this up a little bit with some compressed air. All right, before I move the spark pull-up boots and unplug everything, because we're gonna have to take out these ground wires right here. These are 8mm nuts on here. Take the ground wires, the ground wire, take those up. Pull up the spark plug boots. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and take the fuel railing off. So it's going to be these are going to be 14mm wrench. I don't think I named that when I named the tools. And on this side, we're going to have to take up the whole fuel rail. So we're going to use a 17. I didn't mention that either. 17, I unloose it from here. Yeah, up in there. I don't know if you can see it. The bolt. Pull all this up. All this comes up. You have to pop this off the fuel rail like that. Comes out the fuel rail. This one back here, pop it off like that. Pull up, pull the wires up, pull them off to the side like that. Then the bolts that's down in there. Oh, I can't see them. Oh, I'm too high. The bolt right there. They're my 11s. It's 2 of them. And then I unclip it from back here, and then this whole fuel rail will come up. So let's get this fuel rail out. fuel rail off. All right, so them the tips of some gloves that I put over the hose for the fuel rail, so no contaminants can get in there. All right, guys. On this part, my microphone wasn't working. I don't know what happened, so I'm just gonna explain to y'all what's going on. Right here, I'm just trying to explain what you got to do to remove the plug from the spark plug boot. You just lift that up and let it out. And this plug right here is from the injector. See that tab right there? That's what you got to put the screwdriver at or your pick tool to pull it out. You have to put it in between this tab right here. This little tab right here, you got to put it in between that and the plug and pull back on that, just how my finger is going. And the tab, the plug will come right out from the fuel injector. Okay, now I'm finna show you how easy it is to just lift up the spark plug tab, the spark plug boot tab, and pull the spark plug out. Notice when I pull it up, the wire just gonna slip back. Up, wire slip back, and you just remove it. You stick your finger in this little hole right here. You see that little hole in that clip, that tab that I pulled up? You just put your finger in there and pull up on it. And now I'm just going down the line, repeating the process. Alright, got all of them off. Only thing left to do now is get this valve cover off of here. I'm just making sure everything is looking good. Everything is out the way. Like some of this stuff here, I'm gonna have to pull back so I can clear the valve cover completely. Putting it on, we gotta go straight down on there. Nothing can't be in the way, cause I'm gonna have to put something to hold that like that. Cause when we put it back down on here, it gotta sit straight on so that gasket don't fold, pinch, bend, or nothing. It can just slide right on there. So I'm gonna get something to hold that right there like that, and then we can start taking the valve cover off. Okay, now you take these off right here. They're gonna be E10 bolts all the way around. I don't know exactly how many it is. There's a lot of them though. It's E10 bolts, so we finna go around. I'm gonna start with the two back ones. They're gonna be the hardest and get them out. Sorry y'all, but the whole time it wasn't recording. I went back to press stop and it was already stopped. I don't know if it stopped. I didn't see a message. I didn't even check to see if it stopped doing the recording or what. I don't even know what to expect from that right now, but not knowing what stopped that, all I did was just rock this in. I started with it sitting like this, pushed it back, and rocked it down like this, like just rocked it up in there until it sat down easily. And then I went and tightened up all the bolts. I had a hard time tightening up the bolts. I think I remember saying with that very, very back bolt back there, you have to just take your time and you have to tighten it to hand tight. You ain't gonna be able to get the specs on it. I didn't get the specs on none of these. I just got a feel for how it should be, and I just went and I just cross tightened them. I tightened this one, then I didn't tighten it. I snugged this one, then I went and snugged that one, went up and snugged that one, went up and snugged that one, and just worked my way crisscross like this. Same thing with these, crisscross these, then I went and tightened them. Tighten them down real good. So all this is real tight. That's the only thing I did from the last video. And that's all I can think of. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know if my camera. And I just put the new cap on. That's another thing I did. It came with a new cap, as I showed y'all, and I just put that new cap on now. And that was it. So now I'm just finna start putting all this back together. Just swinging stuff around and just bolting stuff up how it go. So here we go. All right, get these spark plugs removed. No corrosion on here. They say some of them can have corrosion, but they say it's okay if you see corrosion on the actual boot or the spark plug. And I want to show you guys something when I take this off of here. Sorry about that. Wasn't that bad. Some doers to do though. Alright, this is what I want to show y'all. It's gonna take the spark plug. See that? 12.14 millimeter socket. That's what it takes to take these spark plugs in. But it's just as simple as that. Make sure you don't hit the bottom too hard. These spark plugs are pre-gap. But if you want to check the gap on them between 0.030 and 0.032, that's what it must be in between. That's it. Don't need to be too tight. Just snug it up like that, and it's good. Put your boot back on there. Facing this way like this. Alright. Once you do that, put your plug back in there. And get down up under here. Back in there like that. Which way you go? Like that. The cord's out of the way. And there you go. back on now. Well, no, he don't look like he all the way on there, guys. Make sure I got him right. Yeah. Don't look like that. There we go. Now he all the way on there. Just snap him down like that. Just like that. And I'm gonna go through and do the rest of them just like that. Just pop them up like that. Don't be afraid to pull on this. And just pull them out. Spec your boot. Look pretty good. I want to try to put it back exactly how I did when I left off from it. So I got to remember exactly how everything went. Now this boat got to come out of here. Start off by putting this on. T30. These are T27s that I'm putting in back in the holes they came out of. Put the two T27s back in this side over here. Those was not T27. Those was not T27. They were T25s. And these wires here have to go on the top. I'm guessing these was up on top. So I have to take that back off. Put that on top of that. These on top. Close that. All right. Now, like that. Now this can go on here. Like so. Pull up like this. Just like that. All right, now I gotta put this on. This side right here gotta face down. Well, let me look at the old one and make sure. Yeah, this have to face down. That part right there have to face down right here. And remember when I told y'all to eat the E6? You just take the E6. You don't need it on there crazy tight. Just, you know. So we can seal this up. Okay, I got the pipe back on. What's real hard is getting this little circle piece clamped back onto this rubber boot back here. That is real difficult to do. But I'm gonna get it. Right now I'm focused on seeing what all I got to do up here. So I got just about everything back on for us, like the motor wires. So got this hooked up into this, got all this down, just gotta tighten these up with flathead screwdriver. Then I can start running everything else. Just about got it. All right, check it in for an update. All right, I put this on there, plugged it in. Everything stamped on pretty decent. Remember, this was brand new. It came with 2 new tap screws, T25s. Put them in there, plug this back up, and for this plug right here, that plugs up into this. Remember, I put the gasket on there, but I had to plug the plug up in there. This plug was lost, and it's supposed to run up under here. I have to bring it back out and run it up under here. But when I took all the wires and threw them, I threw this one way back down in that hole right there. And I was looking for this wire, I couldn't find it. So I had to trace it back to up here. Then I found it down there, and I had to run it back through there. Had to take this back loose, run it back up through there and around here, but I just didn't run it up under here. So I gotta unplug it and run it up under here. I just noticed that when I turned the camera on. But there you go. Now I gotta do is put the back on, put the bar back there, put it all back on, and then it should be ready to go. All right, guys, that's it. Got it all back together. Now it's time for the big moment, guys. The crank up reveal. Trying to do last minute look at, make sure everything, all the wires, everything hooked up. Everything I loosened up, hooked back up. Time for the big moment. Let's see, guys. You gotta listen for that noise too. From the. Let's go. Ooh, fired right up. Any lights? Any lights popping up?